There's just no way that is going to work. Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in again. In parts 1, 2, and 3, we took my 347 and rebuilt it with some high quality parts. And after that it was off to the dyno shop where after some tuning and break-in, we made 533 horsepower. In this episode, we're going to put the engine and transmission back in the car, then reinstall that amazing sounding 8-in-1 exhaust system. But before we get started on that, I need to perform some post-dyno engine checkup. Okay, the plan for today was to go through and retorque all the head bolts and then set all the lash again. And then I found this on one of my lifters. So this one looks like it wasn't tight. It must have backed out. And I also wonder if I wasn't maybe giving up a few more horsepower in there somewhere. But I'll take that apart and take a look. Okay, I noticed number 4 exhaust had a lot of play in it. Luckily the ends look really pretty good considering. However, there's some wear right there in the middle, right about here. And I think that's riding on the cylinder head. So I've got some clearance here I need to do.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Not only was that one showing some clearance issues, but number 1 exhaust also has some markings right in here. I'm going with a die grinder and then try to do this with the heads on and just be really careful about shavings. So I've mocked up my Cerakoted exhaust system. The reason I'm doing that is to see where I can get some header wrap on. I also thought I'd take a moment to show you why this exhaust system differs from a lot of the 8-in-1s you see on other channels. What those guys typically do is take all the driver's side headers and put them on one side, and then take all the passenger side headers and put them on one side, which looks pretty nice, but it completely defeats the purpose of an 8-in-1. That's why these pipes don't look symmetrical, because they're all routed in firing order and not just one side to one side of the collector and one side to the other side of the collector. They all come in firing order, so when the pulses come out, they go in a circle. And that evens them out when they get into the merge in the 8-in-1, which helps scavenging. So that's why they look the way they do on this engine. And now you know what to look for when you see them on other engines. So I really struggled with these guys right here, these little small ones. So I went to the website to see how the company makes the bands, how they put them on. And I made this tool. Took an old 3/8 hex key and just put a slot in the end and rounded it way down with my grinder. And then put it in a socket. And what this does is so much better than what I was doing. You can see it really yanks on it. The little ones, they're okay, but I think these big ones are the ticket, because you can really get a little bit of torque on them. Then I take some metal shears, cut the end off, and just because I like to cut myself every time I grab something.
Out of my finger. Well, I'm glad in a way this happened. You know, accidents do occur from time to time in
And I would just take the corners off. There you go. By far the hardest part to reassemble this exhaust is to put the collector back on. And after you get it all lined up, there's A and B tabs in 2 spots, and everything gets sprayed with WD-40. Then I just have to kind of whack at it with a dead blow while trying to get everything lined up. But what I'm going to try to do this time is assemble everything on the engine first, then lower it into the car, and see if that is a little bit easier. Yeah, there's just no way that is going to work. I've gotten to a point now where it's time to install the 8-in-1, and you're about to see why I wanted to do this on the engine and then lower it in. Somehow managed to mess that up, so I got in here and I was talking about how hard this was to put on, and then a few seconds later it just slid right on, and I felt so proud of myself. And I got out of the car and realized I didn't record any of it, but anyway, it is on and attached, so we are ready to move on. We have an exhaust system.
Life, do you hear me? Give my creation life!
It's really hard for me to believe that it's been almost 3 years since this car's been on a racetrack. I've taken this car to Laguna Seca, Buttonwillow, Willow Springs, and Auto Club Speedway. But the next time you see this car, it's going to be on an East Coast racetrack. So until next time, thank you very much for watching.